Good evening and welcome wherever you are on this beautiful continent we call home. This is the main event of Kwese Sports. It's hashtag time, and do we have a revved up show for you tonight? So we talked to three individuals who are pushing the boundaries on motorcycle limits, but first I must introduce my amazing co-host who I have named Mrs. Miyagi. Kundai. What's up?
I'm not sure what we're doing today, Arthur, with that whole intro, but thank you so much. Hello, Africa. Super excited. It is Wednesday, so you know it's hashtag time. This is going to be such a dope show. I'm super excited. Now, remember, this is all about you. We want to hear from you, so you can follow us on all of our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Twitter. Share those pictures with us on the gram. And, of course, if there's anything you need to know, we are on the web at kwese.com. We want to hear from you. This is all about you, so make sure you hit us up on those social media handles.
Yes, keyword, it's all about you. Most valuable person, the fan. All right, so excited to talk about a huge event this weekend in Johannesburg, the King of the Whip competition. In studio, we have the 2018 winner, Dallin Goldman, and the man who makes it all possible, Ryan van der Spey. Gents, thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Thanks for having us.
What's up? How's it going? Good.
So can I just interject? I have a little present for you, Arthur.
Okay.
Before we get into the show.
Whoa, what's going on?
Since you are always late for work, I have a little gift.
I can't believe you guys.
From our producer, just because you're never on time. And when it's time to say goodbye, Arthur never says goodbye. So this is for you. Make sure you get it from me after the show.
Oh, cool. My word. Cool. Guys, I apologize. That was not part of the script. I don't even know what to say, Kundai. I just feel so bad right now.
It's cool. Let's talk to Ryan and Dallin about some motocross.
Talking about being on time, you guys have been doing this for quite a while now. And, Lyle and Dallin starting, of course, a Jungle Rush 10 years ago. How's that been going?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. We've come a long way since then. We've got myself and another 5 riders under us now. And yeah, over the last couple of years, we've been traveling the country up into Africa and just performing shows and events all over. So yeah, just grateful to be in the position I am now.
Wow, motocross on the continent is quite the talked about sports now, especially with all the different codes across the globe, on the rise. What is the African continent doing about promoting the sport, Ryan?
Well, there's so many different things happening. There's so many different genres within motocross. I mean, you've got off-road motocross, freestyle motocross, all different events that happen within those genres. So, South Africa is quite a lot. I think South Africa is probably the biggest on the continent in terms of riders and competitions that are out there. So, I mean, there's so much variations, to talk about all of it will take up the whole show. But
all right, there's so many myths behind FMX riders, some of them are all tattooed party people, or you have to be pointing exactly to the culture behind MX and FMX. How's that growing on the continent, Dallin?
Yeah, look, I think it's boomed quite a lot over the years. I think motocross itself, since the 80s, has just been a massive sport in general. I grew up racing motocross. My dad supported me from back then. And when I was about 14, 15, we decided to move on to the freestyle side of things. And yeah, it just exploded from there. And yeah, lucky to be where I am now.
What's the difference between MX and FMX?
So motocross is you're racing on a circuit, you're pushing laps and times, and obviously trying to get into first place, where freestyle is, I'd say, more expressive. You express yourself by doing tricks, we do backflips, some rock solids where you jump off the bike and then catch the bike, so yeah.
Well, let's jump into what's happening this weekend, but let's speak more about LW Mag, Ryan. You're the owner and founder of that. Tell us a little bit more about that. And then, of course, you have to tell us about the big competition that's happening this weekend.
Yeah, so LW Mag started in 2005 as a print magazine, and then from there moved completely online. Our core focus is action sports, extreme sports, music and lifestyle. So we're in this world all the time, focusing on the different sports, and we kind of just fell into creating our own events, and King of the Whip has been one of them. So we hosted the first one in 2017, and it went off way bigger than we ever thought.
Wow.
And now going into our third event, we're putting motocross riders against freestyle motocross riders all together in one event. So that's what's happening this Saturday.
Speak to us about the growth of this event. Like you're saying, it's the third year. Just tell us from the conception to where you are now. How's the growth been? How people received it?
We've got just the way the event works, like I said, in terms of taking motocross riders and freestyle motocross riders, the top guys in the country, and getting them to actually compete against each other in something different is really cool for both the riders and spectators. So just from that point of view, it just grows. I mean, it's the amount of publicity it gets online, through TV, through radio, everything is just massive. It's actually crazy. So like I said, in 2017, the first one, we put it together. We knew it would work, but we never expected that many people to come out and watch it. And it was actually crazy. Last year was massive, and this year should be bigger. So, that's the aim.
All right, so a day in the life of Ryan. Let's talk about how an event like this will be put together. What is the madness and chaos you encounter on a daily?
It's ridiculous. I mean, I can't even tell you. Darren was asking me earlier how my battery on my phone lost. So it's just non-stop, from social sides to making sure riders are happy, to making sure the event area works, to making sure sponsors are happy, to get sponsors in, to get the riders in, dealing with everyone's questions, dealing with the fans that want to come out and watch, dealing with the merch. I mean, it's non-stop, It's just carry on every day, non-stop stuff, hoping that you remember it all. And then by the end of Saturday night, hopefully the event's successful and everyone's happy.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Dylan. For people like you who are riders, for the last few days, it's just been rain, just pouring over the great South Africa. And how can the weather patterns affect your preparation, for a massive event like the one that's happening on the weekend?
Yeah, so the rain actually did quite a lot of damage to the setup where we're riding this weekend. So myself and the Jungle Rush boys, we've been out there, helping Ryan prepare the landing and get everything, in good condition and make sure everything's right. Because obviously the last thing you want to do is jump to a landing that's not in good condition. So, Ryan's been putting in a lot of the work, and so have we, to make sure that this landing and event is successful on the weekend. So it's definitely one of our favorite events of the year, and we can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Well, I know you were last year's winner, and I was watching the footage, and you were holding up that massive 20,000 rand check. So I want to know, what did you do with the money? Is there any of it left? Is there any money left? Can I borrow some? What happened to that 20,000?
At the time, I think it went into, I bought a new bike that week, so it pretty much went into paying that bike off, I think, at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But moved on to KTM now, which is an awesome brand. Happy to be working with them, and looking forward to the future.
The importance of brands, and especially with the longevity of your career, does it play an important role, right?
In terms of riders or the events?
Riders.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if the riders are getting proper support from brands, it helps them out. Different brands offer different things. So as long as the brands come to the party and are willing to do stuff with the riders as well as events, it just makes the whole thing grow. And it's something that they need to realize, instead of just advertising what the actual brand is, they need to get involved with things that are happening, things that the riders are doing, and making sure that they get a brand out there through riders, through events as well.
All right.
Now, Ryan, I looked at quite a bit of this footage, and even the footage we're showing right now in the back screen. For someone who doesn't know, it looks like everyone is doing the same thing. They come up, they spin their bike, and they go back down. So just explain to us a little bit about the scoring and what do the judges look for?
Yeah, so a whip is actually one of the oldest tricks on a motocross bike. It was invented by motocross riders back in the day. It's basically where you can just turn a bike sideways off a ramp. So what we've done, it's developed over the years and it's evolved, and freestyle motocross riders have brought a different twist to it. Motocross riders are using it actually in races where they call it a scrub, and they're scrubbing speed. Wow. So it's just a big thing that it's kind of evolved, and what we've done now is put this event together. where we got guys doing the biggest whip. So that's what the event's about. So it's a variation. You got some guys that can whip both ways. Some guys can only do it one way. So what judges will be looking for is amplitude in terms of how big someone can throw the bike sideways. If they can actually get it upside down. You know, that's a big thing. If guys can throw it both ways, if they've got different variations on it, that's what judges are looking for. So there's actually a whole bunch more that goes into it instead of just looking at the same thing. It might look repetitive, but it's definitely not.
And who are the judges for this year?
We got Brendan Potter, who's an ex-freestyle motocross rider. We got Richie van der Westhuizen, who's a 12-time South African motocross champion, who's retired now. And we've got Brent Lariche, who's kind of the in-between guy who rides trail bikes. So it's good. It's good variation between the three guys.
I mean, Dylan, what type of preparation, rehearsals, trainings that you do leading up to an event like that, especially because of what goes into the preparation of the whole event?
Yeah, you know, we'd spend a lot of time obviously at the track getting ready and practicing, you know, the whips for this event. Ryan's actually added best trick to this feature now, so obviously we've all been brushing up on our tricks, you know, so we can hopefully...
So which one are we seeing on the weekend, right side up or the other way down?
I'm going to be performing in all three categories this weekend, so yeah, hopefully I can, you know, get good results in all three classes.
Awesome. Speaking of results, you know, you've done so well, I think, in your career. What are some of the accolades that you were like, I need to get this thing, and which are the ones which you're still aspiring to, which are sort of like, you know, what's on the list, the bucket list?
So a big thing for me was learning the backflip. You know, I had a lot of, I'd say, like mental issues and a lot of other issues with not having the facilities to practice it, so I ended up traveling overseas, getting it dialed there, coming back, performing it here, and over the last year I've just been able to grow with that and start adding tricks while going upside down. So yeah, this weekend you're going to see all of that.
Wow.
Doesn't want to give anything away.
So secretive.
Yeah. I mean, Dylan, hearing you speak about how you learned the backflip, is that something that riders cherish, you know, when they learn a new maneuver that can kind of work in their advantage, you know, in a competition?
Definitely. It's also a massive confidence boost, you know. So, yeah, learning the flips now and evolving to the flip tricks, I'm hoping that, you know, going forward, I can move on to the 360s, and who knows, maybe one day even do the double backflips, you know, as the sport's progressing. So I'd like to be up there, you know, with the greats, especially in South Africa, you know. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you heard it here on Hashtag. Very quickly, Ryan, what can spectators expect from this year's event?
Oh, it's something that's so awesome. It's action-packed from the get-go right till the end. There's qualifying rounds. You know, the guys throw it down in each round, straight into the semi-finals, and then like Dylan mentioned, we've got the best trick this year, both right side up and upside down. So they have the guys doing tricks right side up, guys doing tricks in a backflip, which is quite cool, and then straight into the nighttime show, which is going to be the final of the whip with some pyrotechnics. So it's going to be awesome.
40,000 Rand up for grabs, Ryan. Yeah. That's big money, Dylan.
I feel like, Dylan, if you win any of that money, it's because you came on the show as good luck, and I need to get something. I need to get, like a lunch, a meal, or cash, something.
I have to take you out then.
Okay. Well, there's still more to come from Ryan in the next segment, and we introduce the new kid on the block, Joshua Mlimi. But first, it's our social butterfly, Felicia Endersby, and her take on what's happening in the world of social media.
Hello, hello. Finally, the last Wednesday of the first month of 2019. And what an eventful month it has been. Rita Ora was a special guest of the All-Electric Series in South America for the third race of the season. The singer received a tour of both Virgin's and Techeetah's garages and met both sets of drivers. She also took a lap in the safety car with Formula E's founder, Alejandro Agag.
Excited? I'm so excited! All right!
Okay, let's go.
That was amazing.
Ora is one of the many British celebs to attend a Formula E race this season. Others, including Liz Hurley, who attended the Marrakesh E-Prix earlier this month, and Wayne Rooney, of course. Keith Thurman made a successful return after 2 years out through injury. He secured a majority decision win over Josecito Lopez in a bruising encounter to keep his WBA welterweight world title. But it was referee Steve Willis who stole the show.
Wait, Keith is gonna look at Steve. Keith's gonna look back at Steve like what you looking at?
His expression reaction when Thurman was absorbing blows had boxing fans memeing all over social media. They love the enthusiasm Willis shows when he's in the ring. He also just happens to be one of the most experienced officials operating in the sport in America. As for the massive brawl in the octagon in October, the ruling is out. Khabib received a 9-month ban and a £380,000 fine. McGregor will only be banned for 6 months. The decision was made by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, although neither McGregor nor Khabib were present. The Russian's ban will be reduced by 3 months if he attends an anti-bullying public service announcement. Meanwhile, some of his teammates were hit with 1-year bans and £25,000 fines for their input. Please let me know how you guys feel about the sentencing. Is it fair? Will it even make a difference? And I would like to thank Mutuku Fred, Frank Richmond in Lagos, and Mark Ager for always supporting the show. See you guys next time.
And that was also pretty sketchy for Jago Kiert because he launched and the backmarker, the local rider, the Indonesian guy. Oh, that's the problem down there. Slick on the takeoff and Vassen over the bars. And
Note to self, do not try this at home. Welcome back to Hashtag Kwese Sports. We still have Ryan in the hot seat, and he is joined by the new kid on the block. I am so happy to introduce such a great talent in motocross, Josh Mlimi. Wagwan!
How you doing? It's been a minute.
It has been a minute. You've grown, and big things are happening in your life. What's happening? Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, just basically keeping on with the sport. I mean, it's taken me to great places, and I believe it's still going to take me even further. So just out here living the dream, man, just pushing, trying to be the best, you know. Yeah, and I'm having fun every time I get out there.
Yeah, you're so young, and you know, like the pressure of all of this expectation on your shoulders, you might feel on top of the world, right?
Definitely. Obviously, like with the racing, there is a lot of pressure that comes to it, but I've been put in a position where I'm able to handle all of that stuff now and maintain myself and perform to the best I can. So it kind of works for me now. So it's all good from here.
Fantastic.
Tell us a little bit about your journey, Joshua, just like from how it all started to where you are now.
It pretty much started with my dad. He had a dream. He came from the homelands of Nelspruit, and he wanted to make it to Johannesburg to become a racer. So when we were kids, obviously I got a sibling. I got siblings. My sister.
Yeah, I get that right now.
You left out then.
I got an older sister and a younger brother. We all used to ride. My brother's still racing now, so he just got us bikes, and it's been fun from there. And we actually started winning. So that's when we decided that, no, we want to pursue this as a career, and we've been overseas already, so I know we can make it to America or Europe, all over the world, actually.
Wow, I love that confidence. I love it.
That confidence is on another level. I mean, so many kids growing up played football, rugby, or even participated in athletics, and this is a question many people that find themselves in a position that you are in that are asked, you know, why did you choose motocross over the other sports codes that were available?
I guess you can ask any other person why they joined that sport for that specific reason, and I can give you the same reason why I started motocross. It was just fun. I was able to do well in it, and I'm still doing well. And it's just that adrenaline feeling that you get, you cannot explain. Like if you ask someone that is doing something, they cannot explain the way they feel about it, and that's the same way I feel.
Oh, wow, lovely, lovely. Ryan, having a rider of Josh's caliber enter the events this weekend, that's, you know, that is exciting on so many levels because of the talent and the pool of talent on the continent.
I think it's more than exciting. I mean, we've been begging Josh for the last 2 years to get into this event, and finally we got him here. So Stoked. We've seen him practice. I think he's going to do really well. Like I said, to have someone of his caliber as one of the top motocross racers in the country at the moment, to be riding King of the Whip is just awesome. So to have him there is going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting for Josh, I think, exciting for the fans. So yeah, I can't wait to see him ride on Saturday night.
Yeah.
You know, we always talk about how exciting it is all the time, and you know, I love the excitement. But I always want to know, talk to me, Josh, about injuries. Like, how many things have been broken, and how has it been just sort of overcoming that? Like when you get knocked down. I mean, we saw in that little clip just before we came back that rider, like, you know, wiping out completely. Like, talk to me about that. Injuries.
Injuries-wise, I've been very fortunate. I've only broken 2 bones. I know a normal
That's
person,
not fortunate.
if you look at the average motocross rider or freestyle motocross rider, they're breaking 5+ bones a year, if not more. I mean, with the sport of motorcycling, it's not if you're going to fall, it's when you're going to fall. And it's one of those consequences
that you have to face.
Exactly.
Kadai, no ways. I don't think I have the guts to get on a bike and just be on some, hey, I'm going to break a few collarbones, you know, and just get up again and ride. But Josh, the name Baba, the nickname Baba, how did it come about?
The nickname Baba came about from my hero, my racing hero. His name is James Stewart. He's an American rider. He also overcame the odds, like back in the days of segregation and all of that. And he just motivated me, and he became the best in the world. And that's where I see myself, and I know if I put my head down to it, I can eventually get there.
Wow. I love that. It's beautiful. Talk about the best in the world. Ryan, you know, we've spoken about the caliber of the riders that are going to be at the competition this weekend, but let's just speak about, you know, the comparisons. How good are the riders in comparison with American riders and European riders? How do they compare?
I think what's cool with it being a whip competition is the comparison is there. So the top guys that we've got definitely can compete with international guys. So, I mean, the goal of King of the Whip is actually to get some international riders out here and start competing against the South African people. Which I think will be great. We almost got it right this year, but it's not there just yet. Everything just obviously has to fall into place. But if you compare, for instance, Dallin, who won it last year, if you compare his whips to some of the international guys, I mean, he's right there. So it's a different story with freestyle motocross, just because it's a way bigger sport over there. They have more foundation and ways to learn bigger tricks. So on the freestyle side, we're a little bit behind. But on the whip side, we're right there, which is exciting. So that's something we can actually start bringing it in. We've actually got interest of this event. We've had 3 Americans actually contact us this year to try to come out to ride the event. One guy from Spain and one guy from France. And they got in contact with us wanting to ride. It just didn't work out, obviously, getting them out here, getting bikes sorted, all that type of stuff. But
eventually getting
the interest is there, which is good. So,
Absolutely. So what is sort of holding back, you know, I guess the South African or the African riders? Is it more facilities and stuff like that?
On the freestyle side, I'd say facilities, and I don't think there's enough competition here happening for them. That's one of the reasons why we added freestyle into this year's event, to try to grow it a bit more. The guys here just normally have shows and they ride shows, and obviously they progress on their own time. But if there's more competition, it actually pushes them more to do, you know, bigger and better tricks. And with that will come better facilities and so on, and sponsors into the sports and all that. So that's where we are.
Great. Josh, you have a motocross background. Why suddenly the switch up?
The reason why the switch up came about is obviously FMX and motocross has the trick called the whip. So it's pretty much the same trick that you can do on a freestyle motocross contest or a motocross track. So it kind of fuses together. That's why I'm able to come out and do this kind of event.
Was it difficult? Was the switch up hard to eventually transition, or did you just come into it easy?
I think the biggest transition was hitting steel and hitting dirt. I mean, with motocross, we time our jumps to land right at the bottom, whereas freestyle is quite the opposite, where you want to get above the landing and give yourself a landing time to obviously perfect your whips.
Do you feel that it is easier to get into freestyle motocross than the other genres that are on offer as well?
I could speak for a lot of people. I think it depends on what you want to do and depends on how much adrenaline you want to get. I find my adrenaline in racing. Dallin Goldman finds his adrenaline in going upside down, you know, so it works in many different ways. So each one to their own.
Nice.
So talk to us about, training. How often are you on a bike? Do you go to the gym? Do you eat specific meals? You're a pretty lean guy. So what is the whole process?
Yeah, as a motocross athlete, we try stay as fit as possible. Yeah. In the gym every single day, riding as much as possible. Obviously, some of the facilities that we have are based in quite tricky locations. So we try ride with groups. Makes it quite easier, and then obviously just gymming, dieting, and yeah, that's pretty much.
Josh, when are you going to get your first tattoo for motocross?
I don't think I'll ever get one. Firstly, because I'm scared of needles.
You're scared of needles.
You'll jump into the air, but you're scared of a little baby needle.
Right?
It's quite crazy. Like, if you take me out to Gold Reef City, my heart is pounding, It's quite weird.
All right. Well, Dallin's still in studio. Before we close things off, can you take the title away from him ahead of this weekend's showdown?
It's going to be very hard. I mean, he's not king of the whip for no reason. But I feel like I could give the guys a good run for their money. I have good confidence in my whips, so it should be a good turnout.
Oh, boo! You're so diplomatic. Got to kick his beep. That's what we wanted to hear. Okay, no, we're going to see this weekend. We're excited.
Yeah, we're definitely excited. Can't believe time has already run out. Ryan and Josh, quickly remind our viewers again about the dates, the time, and the venue for the 2019 King of the Whip.
So King of the Whip takes place this Saturday, 2nd of Feb, at Bikers Warehouse, which is just off Bolobangwe behind the dome. Starts 4 p.m. and action all the way up to 9 p.m.
Yeah, all right, Josh, all the best. Dallin, all the best. Kandai, we have to say goodbye.
I'm sorry, I'm crossing fingers for Dallin, so I can get that free lunch. So that's who I'm rooting for. But yeah.
Do you not want to give me the clock? As we say goodbye.
I'll carry to the car for you. But yeah, it's been amazing.
All right, fantastic. Well, from myself and the rest of the hashtag team, it's a warm Congolese, Quesified, Zimbo. Fired up. Goodbye for now. Ciao.
Guys,